Hi, we've been requested a lot to model stuff like leaves, flowers, and models similar to that, natural models. So we're gonna model in this tutorial a flower. So we're gonna start just displaying shaded mode, and we're gonna start our flower with a primitive, in this case with a plane. Maybe I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, and I'll put in segments X, maybe two more in here. Well, I'd rather use this direction in here, so I'll go for something like that. That's gonna be the base shape of one of the leaves of the petals of the flower. So from here I'm gonna start just changing a little bit the geometry. I'll just make sure that one side is the one that I'm working on, because I'll get rid of the other one. So I'll grab these faces and delete them, and I'll grab this edge in here, and holding Alt on my keyboard I'm gonna drag it, and I'll do the same also in here, and I will scale a little bit just into just a little bit the shape in here, and I can refine the shape in there. Okay, and maybe can change this vertex and move it a little bit like that, and I can go for the shape in here. Well, I'll just move the vertex. If I undo that, I can just move it on the axis. So if I smooth that, that's going to be the result that I'm going to get for the petal. So maybe if I don't want that stranding here on these imperfections, I can do something like that. And I will create symmetry right now, so I'm going to grab the entire object, going for addition and symmetry. In this case, I'm going to go by plane, and I'm going to active grid snap from here to here, and I don't want to change anything else, so right click to validate symmetry. Right now, if I smooth the object, I can set the shape it's a little bit different, so I can refine the shape on the external part of the object, and I can also refine the shape a little bit in here, and also this vertex. Okay, something like that, it's what I'm looking for. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an detail here on the inside part. So to do that, I'm gonna go back to the to this view, and I will use the tool, the insert tool. So I'm gonna go for sorry, it's no, the divide tool. I'll go to addition and divide, and I will create one line in here, one more division. In this case, as I'm in vertex selection mode, I'll have to go point by point. In this case, I'll select any other, and I'll go directly for divide, and I'll display this green line in here. So I'll go for a line maybe in here, perfect. And right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab some of these edges, and I'll move them a little bit down, something like that, until I get the shape that I'm looking for. Okay, if I smooth the object, something like that, could do the work. Okay, perfect. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a thickness to this object. So I'm going to grab the entire object, I'm going to go for addition and shell. In this case I need to shell to the opposite direction. Okay, like that. It's going to be nice. And if I smooth that, I can check in here if that's the result that I'm looking for. So maybe something like that will do the work. Okay, perfect. In here it says when I do the shell that symmetry will broke. For me it's fine, because I don't want symmetry anymore on this object. So I'll click on validate. So in here, maybe on the top part, if I display it from the top view, where I have is these two edges, these two vertices in here are too close. So when I smooth that, this is creating not an organic shape, it's more like a creased edge in here. So what I can do is I can grab by vertex, I can grab all those and just scaling a little bit and moving them outside just a little bit. When I smooth that, I can create an organic shape in here. Okay, and still I'm saving all this inner part in here, and I'm saving this detail part and the back part of the petal. Okay, perfect. Right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just place it where I want it to be, so something like that, and I'll give him the shape that it deserves. So right now it's just all planar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the from the right view, display it in shaded mode, and I will create the bending on the pedal. So I'll select the entire object, I'll go for the command bar, and I'll type the bend tool. So I will bend from the start to the end, and I will bend a little bit like that the shape. Okay, so something like that. It's gonna be perfect. Okay, and from here, what I'm gonna do also, it's rotating a little bit on the green axis in this case, just a little bit the pedal. So when I array it, I can it can seem like it's just following all the surface. Okay, so in here this is gonna be this bottom part in here. It's gonna go there, and it will looks like it's flowing. So now I need to do the array. So I'm gonna grab this object and I'm gonna type on the command bar array polar. Okay, so you can find it on transformation tab. So array polar, center of the array. I can just click on center, or I can just type 0, 0, click enter. Number of copies, I think that 6 copies can be more than enough, so just type 6 and enter. I want to fill 360 degrees, perfect, so click and enter. That's the preview, so I like that, so enter again. Perfect, so that's the shape that I've created with these petals, these leaves, depending on the model that I want to create. Okay, and if I display in rendered mode, that's the model that I'm creating. It looks quite good. Okay, perfect. So let's go for another detail for this flower. So right now what I'm gonna do, I can start with another plane, or I can start with a curve. In this case, I rather starting with a plane, so I'm gonna select this plane and I'll move it there. And in this case, I just need 2 divisions like that, perfect, and I will validate. And in this case, I want this shape to be more oval shape, so I will just grab, double clicking this edge, double click the other edge, and just something like this, and will be perfectly oval. Right now, if I display it in the basic view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move these edges up. So grab these edges and move them up and a little bit like this. Okay, and I will grab the inner point there and I'm going to move it a little bit down. So something like that. And when I smooth that, that's really basic shape, but it's something that that's what I'm looking for. So this one is a complex shape outside, so I'll create some inner simple faces in here. So again, grabbing the object and going for addition and shelling to create the thickness. So maybe a little bit more thickness in this model right now, something like that. And for sure I can refine a little bit more shaping here in case that I want to get some more organic shaping there. Okay, perfect. So when I like the shaping here, I'll just move it where it has to be. Maybe it's so big in there, so just scaling a little bit and making it smaller and going for the move gumball and moving it there, and maybe in here I can rotate a little bit more. Okay, perfect, like that. Even a little bit smaller, it'll look better. Not that small. Okay, perfect. So just place it where I want it to be, and I recommend you to rotate a little bit the geometry in here. Okay, and from here again, just going for the array polar, center of polar 0, 0 again, 6 copies, it's fine. In this case I can put, for instance, 8 copies if I want to. Enter and enter. Again, I can get this inner geometry quite good. That it's gonna have a nice effect on my model. So right now I want to create something here on the inside part of this flower or this plant. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a primitive and sphere in this case, but instead of creating a quad sphere, I will go for a polygonal sphere. Okay, and I will just validate this number of divisions are enough. So just validate, display in shaded mode and in basic view, selecting the sphere, and I'll move it a little bit upper so we can see which is the geometry that we want to edit. So from the right view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it a little bit, something like that. And then I'm going to grab by faces. So I'm going to grab all those faces in here, just holding control. I will get rid of the top one, so just these ones in here. Perfect. And I will go for edition and extrude them. Okay, and extrude mode, instead of going by group, I'll go individual, and I'll make it a little bit smaller. Maybe I will taper a little bit the geometry. So if I smooth that, I can get this shape in here, that it's so amazing. And I'll click on validate to validate the changes. Perfect. So right now I'm gonna just grab the entire object, and with the move gumball and from the front view, I will move it a little bit down, something like this, and from the perspective, you can check if it's perfectly merging with the other part. Okay, perfect. Right now we have almost the flower done. We have some details. For sure we can create more leaves in there, more leaves on the bottom part, but I want to finish the object just creating some the bottom part in here, just to finish it on the bottom part. So I'll go for the front view, and I'll create a curve. So I'll go for a curve in here, and I will create a curve from here, something like that. Okay, something like this. It's gonna be nice. So I'll grab this curve in here that I created, and I'll go for, so let me put in display mode. In the creation tab, I'll have the revolve tool. So I'll just revolve. Here I can increase the number of segments if I want to. In this case, I don't need more segments on this direction. I need more segments on the other one. So something like that will do the work. For sure, I can refine the shape later if I want to, but something like this, it's looking nice. I'll make sure that the end cap it's set to polygonal, and I can set the polygonal also on the other cap. Okay, so I'll make sure that this is perfectly closed, and just click on validate. In this case, now the normals turn flipped. Okay, I thought that this point was touching the 0, 0 axis, so I capped it, but no problem. Now you can see that it looks like it's flipped, so I can just select it, going for edition and flip normals. So right now we have the model correctly displayed. So in here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some edges in case that I want to refine a little bit the shape. So just refining a little bit till we get this higher effect like that. It's going to be nice. And there we go. From the front view, maybe I can refine the size if I want to, maybe a little bit. Maybe it's not smaller, maybe it has to be a little bit shorter. And also from the perspective, maybe I can scale it into a little bit, something like that. Okay, and just refine the final position in there. I can just select the curve and delete it, and I can create some awesome models, maybe even a little bit more. I can scale it into a little bit more, just something like that. Okay, perfect. If I display in rendered mode, I can create some awesome effects in here, and if I want to add some more details here on the bottom part, I can just grab, for instance, all these faces in there, and I can extrude them. In this case, we set the last settings that were individually. You can refine a little bit more taper value, something like that, clicking on OK, and I can refine the positioning here if I want to look up or look down, but it can give you a small effect in here that can be really nice in some cases. Okay, so that was a really easy tutorial. It was just to show you how to create all the arrays and bending the objects before doing the arrays to get geometries like that. Can be quite hard to get if we don't know the correct steps to do that, but once we know them, it's gonna be so easy. So I hope that you liked it, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.